Introduction. My name is John Michael Foreman. This video is rough. Social Security number 228179683. Everett DOC number 7822850. Set up. They robbed the house before the new team was arrested. They robbed the house. This one robbed the house. It was arrested, and however the hell they got back out, I don't know. But anyhow, friggin' nobody it didn't dawn on them because everybody's wound up killing whoever and letting them back out, which is only like, duh. But hey, check this out. Since everybody is like so genius that, well, out of a multiple things, this has been configured, but like, check this out. Somehow it's just not collaborating. The plant Venus flytrap eats and does more. But the problem is we hadn't seen, well, multiples hadn't seen such full velocity is not the situation, full growth, which we wouldn't have no idea. But I understand. The teaching, as some say, on the folks on the streets, in the classrooms, teaching, all over the world and a lot of things. So all over the world just is whatever, but certain places. So we'll leave it at that. And folks have movement to gather information, a lot of movement from all the Walmarts across the U.S., Lowe's, hardware stores, and all kinds of things. But anyhow, so think Venus flytrap and a cornfield and one corn on the cob. And well, it hasn't have a certain situation like the Venus flytrap, like entrapping a fly. But and then you think of all the other foods, as they would say, but this is literally logically the other problem. It is none of its food. Just like species of whatever it is like one they would call a cow saying they butcher and they make steak and that kind of thing, which isn't what it is. And somehow this piece has got to be corrected. The digestive system's got to be corrected. The reproduction system's got to be corrected. The water system and breathing system's got to be corrected. The hearing, the holes in the body, the pores, and multiple things. So, if you think you're ahead of schedule, I highly doubt. Many have gotten word on the street, and over 48,000 people have got to enjoy. Others like, well, how do I kill this bastard? We'll just melt him in a smelter or blow him up with a rocket launcher, due to the fact of brain transplant and so forth, which is a rough draft word for the well, like Bluetooth sending and receiving, you know, uh, which is really, really, really interestingly neat. So, anyhow, well, Wi-Fi power and all kinds of things. But anyhow, uh, something here needs to give. So, CDCR prison, you look it up on the internet. The training site, then it just makes the entire fleet once you see some videos from YouTube, and especially the training side of the situation and the rest of the world and just whatever else not you look up on the internet look like they just had no idea what the hell they're doing. Do mind you less, the word is so powerful on the street that in Tacoma there's like two, three, like three, four of us calculating shit that they just calculating situations that we're highly like noticed out of the situations of like equationally configuring like situations beyond the understanding of the actual damaged brain probably, of most folks in the Tacoma Nativity House. And then their fights about robbing my home and, my neighbors, and which they're not my neighbors because, well, at 18, the entire property, entire Skylandia I own, all those kinds of things. And then we know all kinds of other things like, multiple law enforcement back and forth. Well, this is not so and so. Well, now who the heck am I? But, well, the person's not so and so. Then I'm supposed to say, well, after they ask, well, who the hell am I? Well, like fucking Christ, after getting in my face and all so many other things, and then, the fight battles because of situations of law enforcement versus law enforcement and others, and like, the one half, hey, I'm going to kill, or I'm going to kill later, including the other half, fighting the situations, when they're not dumbfounded and their strike upon their mental sickness, which wouldn't be what it is. Oh, I want to hurt, and oh well, I've not this and that, and well, there's been so many deaths of like the lethal injection at the Everett jail. That was after the police in Gold Bar had set up Mr. Foreman with a rape and breaking an injury, and then it's on his video. Hey, he's going to set up Mr. Foreman, and one officer is driving down the roadway a little ways, throwing a pipe down and a meth pipe, and all these kinds of things, and yada yada yada, or whatever. So another foreman died due to the fact he got one of the blue dumpsters that was really big there in Everett, Washington, and well, he got picked up in some time, and well, that was the end of Mr. Foreman because the trash dumpster machine driving, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is a very powerful and all that juicy stuff at the very end, dripping out. So, I mean, that's pretty gruesome, but hey, he went peaceful, he was unconscious, and, it's too bad for a lot of things, but he didn't suffer, thankfully, as far as we all understand. And, he went peacefully. You know, others that didn't get such an opportunity wouldn't be the situation. One getting hit by a train, it was so fast that that person, Mr. Foreman, another, went peacefully. And besides all the heartache at Western State and the euthanization and over 30 people involved, that Mr. Foreman went peacefully. And besides all the heartache at Everett, Washington, and the euthanization there, that person, Mr. Foreman, a different one, went peacefully. And the electric chair, now that was harsh at the Everett jail. I don't think that Foreman went peacefully because, shock therapy and, well, and it was, people have talked about that and you can all just figure that out. So, anyhow, and also many, many, many more deaths and euthanizations across Arizona, California, and elsewhere because, Mr. Foreman and well, the multiple Foremans are just not going to live nowhere no more, including whoever with the ID the riots downtown Seattle. Mr. Foreman, you'll never live nowhere ever again. Right in front of the Union Gospel Mission and, all those kinds of things and all over Seattle and how they're going to kill one individual and the riots across the U.S. and global and everybody thinks they got it made and then, they realize that, hey, nobody's going to, back down and for whatever purposes and then, hey, the party fund, hey, when Mr. Foreman goes to sleep, that, we'll just, hey, do all kinds of other things of such matter of broad and broad at the rear end. And, hey, we'll just perform a little surgery and turn him into a bitch. Like, hey, and then, hey, he's subconsciously there, but like, I'm the only one out of so many massives and I'm still subconsciously gaining and then so many other things. But as they say on the streets anyway, so you can figure out whatever the hell it is they're talking about. Um, just bringing up a multiple briefs of some things. But back to the main topic of everything, food, right? No, this is not food. It's not what it is. We're in a dilemma. And for training, 50 people figure out Venus flytrap and food, like pick peas and pick corn and do a write-up of medical on those situations, cross-fireably and whatever else not, and then pick another report after you if you have another topic to be able to do, and then load it on a computer and then give copies to the entire world of everything, of government, military, civilians, all that, to, and we come up with something. So anyhow, since the world is so brain dead, I figured out they're not going to understand unless I just go ahead and just do this friggin' video. So, as you see, they crushed the side of my head with pipes and so forth, and they got a whole tray of my blood and probably the whole friggin' rack. Blood donation center trucks have been coming around. We all know what the hell they've done. And, so anyhow, that's, another reason of sickness of what you see, and including the fact of everything else. And till they either straighten things out or they don't straighten things out or whatever it may be. But anyhow, back to the matter. Food. Ugh. Food is not food. Let's see what you can come up with. Birth certificate, born in Norfolk, Virginia. Age 43. 2 birth certificates are the same thing, 2 different birth mothers. Seattle DMV, Washington State. Tacoma DMV, Washington State. Both given a copy to.